A loyal viewer of this channel, after watching one of the videos on a Wilfred Owen poem, requested an analysis of a World War II poem called How to Kill by Keith Douglas. This is that video. Keith Douglas was a British poet and soldier born in 1920. In 1940, he left Oxford and joined the army. He was big into horses all his life, playing polo and stuff, so he went into the cavalry. And in World War II, the cavalry was tanks. Douglas served as a tank commander in North Africa. He was injured, and as he recovered in hospital, he wrote some of his most powerful poems. In 1944, Douglas came back to England and participated in the D-Day invasion of Normandy. He was killed in action on June 9, 1944, just 3 days after the invasion began. He was just 24 years old. Douglas's poetry is known for its realism, irony, and eloquent expression of the brutality and waste of war. After his death, his work gained significant recognition with collections like Collected Poems from 1951. This cemented his reputation as one of the most important poets of World War II. Here's the poem How to Kill by Keith Douglas. Under the parabola of a ball, a child turning into a man, I looked into the air too long. The ball fell in my hand. It sang in the closed fist. Open, open, behold a gift designed to kill. Now in my dial of glass appears the soldier who is going to die. He smiles and moves about in ways his mother knows, habits of his. The wires touch his face. I cry, now. Death, like a familiar, hears and look, has made a man of dust of a man of flesh. This sorcery I do. Being damned, I am amused to see the center of love diffused and the wave of love travel into vacancy. How easy it is to make a ghost. The weightless mosquito touches her tiny shadow on the stone, and with how infinite a lightness, a man and shadow meet. They fuse. A shadow is a man when the mosquito death approaches. I usually like to look at the overall structure of a poem before I read it. With this one, we see 4 6-line stanzas. Checking out the rhyme scheme, it's A, B, C, C, B, A. That's a symmetrical pattern. I wonder if that's significant. Remember that the first line of the poem contains that word parabola? Interesting. This poem is a chilling exploration of the act of killing in modern warfare. It's likely that Douglas is drawing on his experiences on the battlefield. The poem opens with a startling image. Under the parabola of a ball, a child turning into a man. In this line, there is this transformation and loss of innocence. The parabola is a mathematical curve, so this phrase suggests both the arc of a thrown ball and the trajectory of a bullet, seamlessly blending childhood play with the grim reality of war. The ball fell in my hand. It sang in the closed fist. This line continues with the ball bullet imagery, but now it takes on a more ominous tone. The ball singing in a closed fist probably represents a grenade. Open, behold a gift designed to kill. When you throw a grenade, the hand goes from a closed fist to an open hand. This line directly addresses the lethal nature of the object being thrown. Through this stanza, the image of a child's ball transforms into a weapon, symbolizing the loss of innocence in war. The poem then shifts perspective. Now in my dial of glass appears the soldier who is going to die. This likely refers to the view through a weapon's scope. Look at how this depersonalizes the act of killing by reducing the target to an image in a glass. He smiles and moves about in ways his mother knows, habits of his. The target was nicely dehumanized, but then this line humanizes him big time. He is a unique individual with easily identifiable mannerisms. This makes the impending act of violence more poignant. Obviously, the mention of the soldier's mother emphasizes his humanity and the life he is about to lose. The wires touch his face, and I cry now. Here the wires are the crosshairs in the scope, and now is the moment of firing. And all this is presented with chilling detachment. Death, like a familiar, hears and look, has made a man of dust of a man of flesh. This sentence describes the instant transformation from life to death. Flesh is life, and dust is that to which we all return, as in that funeral phrase, dust to dust. This emphasizes the finality of the act. It also shows the great power of the speaker. Like a sorcerer, he has the unnatural power to transform flesh to dust, life to death. He's getting at the surreal nature of being able to take life from a distance. Being damned, I am amused. This gets at the speaker's detachment and his moral conflict. In killing that soldier, he recognizes that he is, in a sense, damned, but at the same time he finds grim amusement in the act. This is the psychological toll of war. It's a defense mechanism. The next line poetically describes the moment of death. To see the center of love diffused, and the wave of love travel into vacancy. The center of love likely refers to the heart, while its diffusion and the wave of love traveling into vacancy portrays life leaving the body. It's really that easy to make a ghost. This simple, chilling line captures the point of the entire poem, the ease with which life can be taken. The final stanza brings the poem to its haunting conclusion. The comparison of a man's life to a mosquito's shadow. This metaphor creates a sense of delicacy and transience. It emphasizes the fragility and the seeming insignificance of individual lives in the context of war. This image of a mosquito landing on a stone, how at the point of landing, the shadow and the insect lightly meet. He draws a parallel to the lightness by which a man and shadow meet. They fuse at the moment of death. As light as the mosquito's touch, as insubstantial as a shadow, is the act of killing in war. This stanza returns to the poem's themes of the ease of killing and the fragility of life in wartime. And it's got that sense of detachment again. Mosquito and shadow are not really anything, and this is the emotional state required to kill in war. And there's one thing more. This poem recounts the death of a single individual. And like the death of a mosquito, what does it even mean in the context of a whole battle, or even of a whole war? Throughout the poem, Douglas maintains a detachment that is perhaps necessary for one to kill another human being in war. But beneath this detachment, there is a profound unease about the ease with which a life can be taken. How to Kill is a powerful testament to the psychological complexities involved in warfare by someone who experienced it firsthand, and who had the poetic skill to communicate some of that experience. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.